morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2023. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. There was no earth-shattering 49ers news yesterday, though they did make their coaching staff hirings official. As we know, Steve Wilks will be the defensive coordinator. Clint Kubiak is the passing game specialist. Defensive quality control coach is Jacob Webster. Keep an eye on that spot only because so many defensive coaches leave San Francisco. Those are the guys that generally get promoted into more important defensive positions, so that may be a name you hear in the years to come. And Max Moles is apparently the coaching operations assistant. He takes the job of boombox guy. So there's that. By the way, just a reminder, the 49ers have had 27 coaches in new positions over the last 2 seasons. That is an incredible amount. It's a big part of the reason why Kyle Shanahan skipped the combine for the second year in a row. Very, very difficult to get everybody on the same page. And I think we've seen that in the slow starts the 49ers have had the past couple seasons. It takes everybody, not just players, a few weeks to get on the same page, get the machine running properly, get all the parts oiled up and working together. And luckily, the Niners have been able to turn it around halfway through the year and pick up steam. And obviously, last year had that impressive winning streak. That's going to have to be a hurdle for them to overcome this year because, again, you've got a lot of coaches in new spots, and we'll see if they can do it. Could be even more difficult with all the uncertainty at quarterback. This next thing isn't really news, but I thought it was really interesting, and it was interesting because of you. So, Leo Luna and our friends at Bay Area Sports Digest asked for a spicy 49ers take. Me, being me, never one to shy away from a spicy take, I tweeted out that George Kittle will not finish his contract with the 49ers, something I've said on the air multiple times. And a lot of you responded to that, but not in the way that I thought. I thought you were going to come for my head, basically. I thought you were going to crush me and criticize me and scream at me. That really wasn't the case. Most of you agreed or said if it's not Kittle, it's going to be Deebo Samuel. And I was blown away by that because it's, for the large majority of 49ers fans, a rational opinion. And that's not something I've seen a ton of in recent history here. It seems like most of you expect one of, or maybe both, George Kittle and Deebo Samuel to finish these contracts somewhere else. And that's kind of amazing because usually fans think all their good players are going to be there forever and teams can't live without their good players and all that stuff. So I don't know if my message and the message that Gold Standard Podcast has started to seep in or what the case is, but I'm giving you a standing ovation over here. Congratulations for that. That's pretty cool. I think we're all on the same page. And let's be honest, in recent history, there hasn't been much that this entire fan base has really agreed on. So let this be the start. Let this be the start of a new era in 49ers fandom. I feel like a president right now. Let's stop fighting amongst each other and start enjoying things together. Being on the same team, being on the same page. It's much, much easier and more fun for everybody. Let's keep that going. And we'll eventually see who's right, by the way. But I do agree. I think one of those two is not going to finish their contract with the 49ers for, could be dissatisfaction on their side, could be dissatisfaction on the 49ers side, whatever the case may be. I think eventually there's just going to be a parting of the ways there. What we hope is that the Niners, either through the draft or through free agency, have built up the roster behind them and the understudies, so to speak. So when those moves do happen, they're able to absorb them and move on. And of course, as we know, one of the easiest, I shouldn't say easiest, but one of the most effective ways to do that is if you have a good quarterback. Case in point, Patrick Mahomes, who lost Tyreek Hill and had basically nobody except Travis Kelce to throw to and just won his second Super Bowl. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Friday, Ted Wynn of The Athletic has an article about the best scheme fits in free agency, and he puts Javon Hargrave on that list. You can find out why at The Athletic. Wynn thinks Hargrave could be even more disruptive this year. One thing to watch, one of the best free agent kickers is now officially off the market. Veteran Eddie Pinheiro signed a 2-year deal with the Panthers, who he played for last season, and they also informed Zane Gonzalez that he is being released. I tell you this because, of course, the Niners are one of just 2 teams in the league without a kicker on their roster. Robbie Gould is still a free agent. I don't know about you, but it's starting to feel inevitable that at some point here we're going to see news of a 1-year deal between Gould and the 49ers. Although only if his salary demands come down. One thing you may have missed, if you have little ones listening, you may want to cover their ears for this, but it was too good not for me to include. The famous Chicken Ranch brothel in Las Vegas has offered Jimmy Garoppolo free sex for life now that he is signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. Caitlin Bell and Alice Little work at the brothel, and they are very excited. Jimmy G is now in black. Quote, "He deserves free sex just for joining our team," Bell said, "but he gets free sex for life from us just because he's such a legit babe." Shout out to Twitter follower @Level1Villager, who said in response to the story, quote, "I mean, I'm pretty sure his face gets him free sex for life." And believe it or not, that's not even the only offer Jimmy Garoppolo got. Another brothel, Sherry's Ranch, offered him and teammates an all-expense-paid VIP weekend blowout at their bungalows, quote, "with your choice of on-site courtesans, as well as a special playland with themed rooms to make you feel right at home." You know, themed rooms, like we all have in our homes. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Again, if you are subscribed to the Old Niners Nation feed, please just stay subscribed. We are finally getting that worked out, and we'll have more news for you soon. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend, everybody. Go vote in the 49ers Media Madness bracket. There is a link in the description of this podcast, or you can find it at GS Podcasts on Twitter. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk on Monday.